now.
about the audio? Audio's okay?
We will do a podcast.
In 5 minutes, papasok.
What's going to happen is as we go live, we're able to see the number of people who are
Sure.
coming on. So normally, ano yan starts building up.
Yung buong pinakamarami.
Because? I don't know. Edu yun.
Edo yung marami. Kahapon marami rin.
Okay, I have smart now.
Well, importante naman is
But we cannot, gauging it based on the online
Yeah, I think
is,
so.
is one. But sometimes, because we save it on our site,
yeah.
you actually cannot check anymore because other people will go online later. So
Yes,
even if
yes.
they don't catch you now, they
Kahit
go-
na 10 lang manood ngayon.
Oo,
okay lang.
they can catch you later kasi
Oo.
it's on the site already. So this is how we look to them.
Okay.
There's a chat room on the right side.
Okay.
So they can log on into Twitter and Facebook, and then they can actually post their questions there. We can see what their questions are.
Sure, sure.
So that's how.
One of our bloggers actually wrote about you,
Okay.
and it has a lot of hits.
She wanted to be here, but she's supporting her daughter because her daughter took the bar.
Ay, galing. Ay,
So
yeah,
she
that's
has
right.
She's a mommy, so she has to be there
That's
with her
right, that's
daughter
right.
now.
Oh, I still remember how it
It was
was.
very.
Yeah, so sabi namin, yes, that's a good excuse for not being here. She would have wanted.
I will pull out that.
Are you talking about the surveys? The surveys, I'm improving. I started out, when I started the surveys, I was number 42. Sa SWS, I'm 26 to 24. Sa Manila Standard Survey, I'm number 16. So, doing well.
Based on the feedback I have, this is a light question first.
Sure, sure.
Nahiya tuloy. Parang, ano yun?
Ask away.
Ask
Prank
away.
naman sila.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kinikilig si
Baka magaya sa asawa ko. Hindi, ano yun? What did they say nga? Daming may crush sa'yo.
Naku.
Mga women.
That's nice to hear.
Oo.
That's nice to hear.
So, they wanted to be here with us right now. But it is like, work. So anyway, one of our bloggers wrote about you.
Okay.
This one who admires you also. And this one had a lot of hits talaga. And after we wrote this article, I pasted it in Facebook, and
Yes.
some overseas bloggers appreciated it because they didn't know a lot about you.
Yes.
So one thing that caught them was being a Muslim.
Yes, yes.
So yesterday we also interviewed at the other party about being a Muslim. Is there still a stigma on being a Muslim right now?
I
For
think
you?
I think meron, especially after the Maguindanao massacre. Yung after the Maguindanao massacre kasi when I was being interviewed sa radio and sa TV, some would actually, especially in the provinces, they would say Adel A. Tamano is A. Ampatuan. So yung prejudice at discrimination against Muslim Filipinos, I think let's let the cat out of the bag. I mean, there is that. I think part of it is because of the historical experience. Spanish times pa lang meron ng clash between Muslims and Christians before, and then of course in the 70s we had the Moro Wars also. But what I'm very hopeful about is if you will really track it, I think as generations move forward, there is less discrimination. Kasi mas nag-open sila, their eyes are opened. And I think also the fact that there has been what's known as a Muslim diaspora, because nga dun sa sa region namin, wala gaanong mga livelihood, no? At also because of the war in the 70s, nag-scatter yung mga Muslim. And if you go to every major city, like if I were to ask you, where do you buy your pearls and your DVDs? From whom do you buy it? Most likely it'll be from a Muslim trader. And I think it's because of that some of the discrimination I would even say a lot of the discrimination has decreased. Um, because nga nag-interact na tayo eh. But aminin natin na nandoon. I'll give you something very concrete. After 9/11 and after yung Maguindanao massacre, when some of my Muslim sisters will try to get a cab, no? Pero nakakumbong sila.
The same
Oo.
example.
Minsan hindi sila pinapasakay.
Yes.
Totoo pala talaga.
Oo.
no?
Or on a deeper level, I've talked to some bank officials na sinasabi nila na it's not their policy, it's not their written policy, but there are really some financial institutions na hindi nagpapautang sa mga Muslim. Because ang issue daw sa kanila is yung nagbabago ng pangalan, kasi when we go on our Hajj, nagbabago yung pangalan. So even in practical terms, ang punto ko dito, even in practical terms, there are still issues of discrimination that we must address. It's not a perfect society, but I would have to say that nag-i-improve tayo.
Okay. I'm quite impressed pala that you're the first Filipino Muslim scholar at the Harvard Law School.
Oh, honestly, feeling ko nakachamba talaga
Bakit
ako.
naman?
It's really so hard. It's so hard to get into Harvard Law School.
I know, but bakit chamba naman?
A lot of people did not give me a chance
Okay.
to get in. In fact, my mom's here somewhere. When I said I was going to apply sa Harvard Law School, she started telling her friends, "Nanay, sabi niya, si Adel's going to study in Harvard. Apply pa lang yun And hindi niya alam that I was hearing that some of the people that she was saying this to, no? Na behind our backs, na pinagtatawanan kami. But somehow yung Harvard Law School took a look at yung credentials ko, yung mga na-achieve ko, and they said, let's give this guy a try. Because every year, I think they only get about 3 to 5% of the applicants.
It's a full scholarship, no? I had a full scholarship,
but because I was married and I had a kid, a scholarship is not enough because there's lost income. Pagtapos yung expenses pa, we had our first child, so I still had to. I mean, I'll be very frank about it. We still had to mortgage. My wife mortgaged our house, so we could have money for me to be able to study.
Were you working there at the same time?
I was a librarian. I was a librarian, and it was a good experience actually. Magandang humbling experience sa akin dahil isipin mo abogado ka na, pero nandun ka sa library sa Harvard at sinisigawan ka ng mga estudyante. Where's my book? I told you to get it hours ago and stuff like that. So it's a good humbling experience for me.
What kind of speech did you make during your commencement? You were told to make a speech?
No, first they chose who the commencement speaker would be.
Okay.
That's through voting. And I was lucky enough to be chosen as the commencement speaker and one of the class marshals of the class of 2005. I think it was a strange experience. So when I gave my speech, first when I wrote my speech, I really wanted to come up with a good speech because feeling ko parang I'm just so lucky to be here. Just to be there, to be able to study, and the fact that I could give a message to them. If you read my speech, if you contextualize it, that was the time after 9/11. There was a lot of, that was the war in Iraq. There was a lot of discrimination, issues about Muslims, and I felt how timely it was that I would be the commencement speaker for the law school. So if you read the speech, it's not the usual speech na parang yung butterflies and flowers and how great it is to be able to study in the States, etc. Yung speech ko palaban